My name is Ashton Hunter. I've worked with hundreds of different in-person and online health and fitness coaching companies. And today I'm going to be talking to you about something that I see as being a major issue within a lot of coaching businesses online and in person. And the issue is about acquisition dependence. So what happens a lot of times is coaching companies and businesses in general become so dependent on having to get new clients and having to constantly put more money into ads, put more effort into the front end to try to make some more money on the back end. Meanwhile, the math doesn't really math. What I mean by this is
kind of summarize your business in short and like what exact service do you kind of provide to people?
Yeah, so I provide marketing solutions. So it's all digital marketing, which is pretty complex because it's always changing, right? And it's changed a lot over the past, let's say, even like 2 years with AI. But all in all, what I do is I run ads and build funnels for people.
Okay.
So that is Facebook and Instagram is what I specialize in for advertising. And then a funnel is basically obviously where the traffic is going to, right? I build that out for my clients. That's anything from like video style funnels, like VSL funnels, webinar funnels, nurturing funnel, like there's thousands of funnels, but that's mainly what I do, if that makes sense.
All right, can you walk me through a moment recently where you had to adjust plans on the fly, whether in content, training, or in business, and explain what made you pivot? Something like that, please.
Yeah, so right now I'm running ads for myself. So I'm trying to get more clients for myself.
Yeah.
And with ads, a lot of the times you think something is really good. You think your strategy is ideal. You do it, you launch it, and then it gets no success. Yeah. And then you burn like a couple $1,000s, right? Sorry. You burn like a couple $1,000s and then you get in your head, you get all pissed. So I had to readjust my strategy. I was sitting with one of my, I guess one of my mentors. He's like, bro, you're doing everything wrong. You got to do, make this adjustment to your ad creatives, which is basically like the photo portion of the ad. Right? So I made all the changes. I was like, you know what? These look horrible. I was like in my head about it. I was like, these are not going to work. Yeah. I launched like 5 days ago and they're like crushing. And they're like probably the worst looking ads you could ever see. Like you would look at it and you'd be like,
that's awesome.
Right? So that's something recent where I had to make kind of a big pivot. I was a little bit unaware that it would garner any success, but it turned out to be profitable, and sometimes that's kind of how it works, especially with marketing. There's this quote by this guy named Cloud Hopkins, and my entire ad strategy is based off of Cloud Hopkins' strategy, but he says the marketing campaigns that you launch that you doubt the most before you launch it are the ones that usually have the most success. That's to answer your question. That's kind of what I would say.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, man. I guess agree.
Yeah, last question. I guess what kind of made you want to take the entrepreneurial path as opposed to kind of the typical path? Like what made you kind of want to really sink both feet in and just like start your own business, do your own thing instead of maybe taking the traditional path?
Well, I was at Western too, right?
Yeah, so, I told him about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at Western for a year. I was in medical science and I was supposed to do AEO.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the long-term like path of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so that's going to be like 5 years at Western undergrad.
Yeah.
I'm probably have to get a master's. I'm going to have to do like, community service. And then by the time I'm in med school residency, it's going to be like 14, 13 years.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then in Canada, it's like, you're doing all that work to.
right? Like sales is important. It's important to know how to handle an objection, but is learning is learning how to handle an objection going to make you like, $1 million a year, right? Like, is that what made Mark Zuckerberg, a billionaire? I know this is different levels, obviously, compared to like what you guys are offering, but in my opinion, you should set yourself up so that you shouldn't really even have to sell, in my opinion.
They already want the thing that you're selling.
Exactly, exactly. And that's kind of what I've been doing with my personal brand and stuff like that is with my YouTube, right? Like a lot of the people who reach out to me for my YouTube, like you as well, like you've consumed my content. You probably went through a couple of my videos. You're like, okay, I'm educated. I know what this guy's about. I'm gonna book a call. I already have this preliminary desire. So when I jump on the call, I can just ask you a couple questions, see if there's a fit, and there's not really me having to be like, oh, what do you mean you want to think about it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of 100%. Yeah.
Shit. We got one more thing
insights.
though.
About you guys, but I want to make some money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, 100%.
same boat, bro.
100%.
Like, why are you guys taking business course? Because you guys probably want to make a fuck ton of money when you guys are older, right?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yes.
So that was me. I was like, okay, you know, I don't want to wait for this. I don't want to play this waiting game of 12 years, 13 years, sacrificing my youth and all.
Yeah, the income tax rate is obscene. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just start something from my dorm room. So, and then I think what school ends around April, May.
Yeah. April.
Yeah. So April, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to run this business as hard as I can this summer. I'm gonna see how much success I can get.
Yeah.
And I was, if I can make, I had a revenue goal of how much money I could make. I
Yeah.
was like, if I can hit that, then I'm gonna not return. And
Yeah.
I hit literally like a week before school started.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a good feeling, man.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like-
awesome.
I was like, okay, you know what? F it. And then obviously parents weren't happy, but
Yeah. Well, yeah.
so yeah, but honestly, yeah, to answer your question, it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, I want to make obviously a lot of money because with
Yeah.
money, freedom.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kind of wait to do that.
Right. Yeah.
All right, what an interview, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Really, really good, really insightful, really impactful. Like, a lot to say, you know. Definitely, like, I found it related a lot to causation theory.
Yeah, so essentially like causation theory really highlights setting a clear goal and taking structured steps to achieve that goal. And obviously he did that because he mentioned in the interview that if he reached a certain revenue point, he would either put both feet in, start his own business and leave Western, or stay at Western. So obviously he reached his goal, and causation theory is like the first part of it is setting out a clear goal, in which he did.
Yeah.
So that's how it relates to
Yeah, and
causation.
finding a target market too, like definitely like him focusing on like the personal trainers and gym owners as well in that regard, of how like a lot of the times like they're very tailored towards fitness and business, like they don't have the time necessarily to do these internet funnels to run sufficient ad
Yeah.
campaigns, and he definitely took advantage of
Yeah,
that
I just
whole,
think also
process too.
with, for sure, and also with heuristics, he obviously had the idea in his head that the 12-year process, education process of becoming a doctor was going to take too long. The outcome of it wasn't worth enough to him, especially with the income taxes in Canada. Just the final destination wasn't really enough for him. So he decided to alter his life, change paths, become an entrepreneur, start a completely different business in the fitness industry, and
there he is today, right? Like, no, great meeting with him. Like, the guy, too, definitely had mental frames per unit of time. He thought 2 years was too long. He decided to get, or 12 years was too long. He decided to jump into it right now.
Yeah.
But either way, very insightful. Very glad we met him.
yeah,
Okay?
absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.